Hello and welcome to another Writerly Witterings. Earlier, in one of my previous attempts at recording this, I had a cup of tea, but I haven't got one now. Earlier, I had a quick run through. It took no time at all. It was wonderful. This time, it's taking ages. Not helped by a dog walking into the tripod. Bed. Today, in short, has been one of those days when recording has gone wrong, from the camera falling over. That was due to the Dalmatian, to the ridgeback knocking the tripod several times, to starting to record and someone coming to deliver things for my son, not for me. Everything's gone wrong today, but a few weeks ago, I reviewed this. Drew sent it to me from America, an Apica notebook, which is fantastic. So today I thought it might be quite fun to look at the other notebooks he sent me, these ones. And to make it a bit more fun, I've also been using different pens. What the hell? Anyway, let's have a look and see if I can get this time a recording to work. Now, last week I was happily playing about with my old detection collection Winston and a brand new Winston from Conway Stewart. And I've been having some fun. I haven't used my detection collection pen for a while, and it was interesting to have a play with it again. This is my italic medium nib, which I think gives a really rather stunning result. I'm very, very fond of this. And what's interesting is when you look here, this is all using the italic medium nib, and I had Visconti black, which is, I don't know how well this will show up, but it gives a lovely grey colour. And then this is using the broad nib from the Winston from Conway Stewart and using Conway Stewart's own Onyx black ink. And it's a very deep dark black with a slight shine to it. What is really delightful is when you're using the Visconti, it goes down reddish grey, and so it has this sort of warm aspect to it, which I think's lovely. Why am I showing you all this? Well, it's because this is a notebook I reviewed some time ago, and it comes from paper for fountain pens, and it's made of Tomoe River. And the worst news that could come this year for a pen aficionado like me is that Tomoe River are stopping making their 52 and 68 GSM wonderful papers. Why are they wonderful? Because there's nothing wrong with it. There's no feathering, there's no bleed through, there's a little bit of ghosting if you use really dark inks on a 52 GSM bit of paper. What do you expect? But the fact is, Tomoe River has always been superb. It's great for showing sheening, for example. So if you're playing with a nice Oxford blue from Cult Pens, or if you really like strong sheening and you've got some little Chris, they just show it up superbly. But so often other papers don't do it, so I'm going to be trying to find out from some paper suppliers what they recommend. Now, these are the ones I reviewed last time. If you remember, although it wasn't the best, I really liked this because I think it looks good, the paper feels lovely, and it's just gorgeous. My second favourite was the sketchbook, which is just, again, beautiful paper, really good, and it's from Kokuyo. This is from Apica, and it's glorious paper. But the only thing that I discovered today was when you use a real gusher of a pen, so this is the broad with Onyx black, this is the italic medium with Visconti black. And looking through them afterwards, there is ghosting and a bit of bleed through, which I was surprised at because there was nothing at all with the other pens. But the other pens did have finer nibs, so that interested me. Field notes really didn't work at all well for me. There was a lot of bleed through there. You can see it all here. So I thought it would be interesting to look at these other 3 notebooks. And the first thing that struck me was how lovely the paper is. And the second thing that struck me was I've no idea what this is. It's beautiful. It's got a really strong card cover. And nothing to say what it is, but I have a solution for that. And just like that, it is an Apica twin ring A6 notebook. It's another Apica, just like the one I liked so much last time. It's really good quality. The boards feel lovely. The spine is not too fat, so it will fit in a pocket quite easily. Although, I don't like spines for putting in my pockets so much, because if the pocket's not too wide, they will catch always, either going into your pocket or coming out. The good thing is, of course, it does mean that they shouldn't fall out of your pocket too easily. But the bad thing is it's not necessarily very comfortable to hold. What is good is when you're writing, you can turn it completely back on itself. It will lie completely flat. And the great thing about Apica paper, this one as well, is it's just beautiful to write on. I then had a look at this. Now, Kokuyo, I have been using their papers for some years and I find them just gorgeous. This notebook is superb. It's another twin ring, so opens flat, opens all the way around. This has the additional advantage that the paper has dot grid as well as lines. Don't know how clear that is here. I'll just try to hold it up. Hopefully you can see there's a series of dots, which it says here are... It does say somewhere and I can't find... Oh yes, 6mm dots. So that is nice. The back cover is a plain bit of board. Not terribly thick, but thick enough so it gives you a flat surface. The front cover has a thin board, plastic sort of coating to it, I think. But it also has an actual plastic cover as well, so it is that bit more robust. So it opens flat, it's got lovely paper, it has dot grids which I like, and the other thing I really like is that it has micro perforations all the way down, so each page can be torn out without spoiling the feel of the notebook. Like that. And then we've got this, the Life Vermilion A6 with 5mm graph paper, as I would always call it. This is a Life N68. It's another notebook that's made in Japan. It is not a ring-bound notebook. It is stitched really quite irregularly. If you look at that, you can see the stitching does go all over the place a bit, but yeah, it gives it character. It's not a great problem. Because it's stitched, it will open flat after you've given it a bit of persuasion. It wants to fold up because that's the nature of stitched notebooks. But if I just open it up slightly, as soon as you do that, it lies completely flat and the paper feels just wonderful. No micro perforations, nothing really at all clever about it. It's got board cover, not terribly thick, so it doesn't take up too much space. Now, I don't know how many pages there are in this. Let's just have a quick check. I think there's 16 pages there, which means 32 in total, which means 64 sides. Not bad, 64 sides. With this, I believe that means there are 50 pages. But better just check, because these things are always sent to confuse me. Yep, 50 pages, which means 100 sides. That's a practical size, I like that. And then finally, the Apica. Again, absolutely no way of telling how many pages there are. These people just like to confuse me. I think there's 40 pages in that, so 80 sides. Now, how do they work with a pen and ink? Well, I tested them fairly well here. I tested them with my Schaefer with a medium nib and Delft-Blauw, and then Visconti black with an italic medium, then with onyx black, just to test what the paper was like. And with this, as you can see, no bleed through, no feathering at all. Absolutely superb paper. Could not be beaten. So I'm impressed with Life. This is my Apica, which I like. I love Apica paper, it feels really superb. So Delft-Blauw, onyx black, Visconti black. And there's a little bit of shadowing perhaps, but really very little. I love this paper. And then my Kokuyo, onyx black, then Visconti black, and then Delft-Blauw. And that I was really surprised and rather disappointed in. As you can see, even the Delft-Blauw has started to come through, and that's really not acceptable. That's quite a fine, not fine, but it is not a gusher. It's a very well behaved little pen, that. So I'm surprised at that. And then when you look at all of the other two inks, the onyx black and the Visconti black, they really are coming through very surprisingly badly. That's, to my mind, not usable. So although it's got lots of pages, that's not a notebook that I would personally want to use too much myself. It is useful, specifically if you're going to be tearing pages out all the time. If you're just writing down a page of notes for someone else, you can rip it out and give it to them. That is very practical. The micro perforations are a superb idea. But for me, this is a great deal better. I think that works much, much better. And to my surprise, I'm just making sure I haven't done anything wrong here. No, that is the correct page. That's the last page in the book. So that works a great deal better, for example, than my other Apica, which did have a certain amount of ghosting and bleed through there. And then, of course, we've got this, which is just magnificent paper. Absolutely no show through or bleed through or anything at all there. That is wonderful. And so we now have which is the best of all of these little notebooks. These from the first week of testing and these three from the second week of testing. Well, I have to say, field notes, very useful to keep in your pocket. It's a very convenient size. Fits in the back of your trousers. You can take it anywhere. This campus paper is a bit disappointing from Kokuyo, but it is a fantastic notebook. Good size. I like the robust covers, the plastic front and the hard back. And I do like the fact that it has dot grid as as well as lines, and I do like the fact that it's got micro perforations so you can pull each page out if you want to. Of course, in a twin ring system like that, you can always tear the pages out anyway, so it's not that big a deal, but it's nice, it's a good one. I really liked that, the sketchbook. That was very appealing because it looks really smart. I really liked this because I think that has the same sort of, it just looks and feels really nice. Very good quality paper, opens flat. There's really nothing to dislike about that. This, superb. The Life has all of the best qualities for a fountain pen user. It's got no show through, no bleed through, no feathering, nothing at all. It's just gorgeous to write on too. It's smooth, it's lovely. And then this. Which of these do I think is the best? Which will I be using up first? I have a feeling that this will be used up first of all because there's more paper in it. I do love the paper. This is something I can use and it'll fill up really quite quickly, I think. But then I think it's just which one happens to be near to hand when I want to have a notebook. These two are superb. I really, really like them. Possibly if I'm going to a meeting and I'm wearing a jacket, this would fit because it's slim. This is less slim because it has that rather lovely red double ring. But any one of those three, Apica paper is clearly very good. Any one of those three would do anything I want. Absolutely superb papers. And now I've got to say I am delighted because I've managed to get through this take without any serious disasters. The dog hasn't knocked the camera over, she hasn't knocked me over, she hasn't grunted or started snoring, so life's good. So I'm just quickly going to say now, thanks a lot for watching, hope that was interesting. If you've got any questions, put them down the bottom in the comments section. Don't forget you can like it and subscribe and hit the bells if you want to be if you want to be notified when the next video comes out, and tell your friends and share it and all that good stuff. If you want to join the Pen Pals Writing Club, there is an email address at the bottom. Write to me there and I will send you a link through to that. If you like using pens, then joining a Pen Pals Club makes sense. I've made lots of friends in that already, so why shouldn't you? I don't know, because you possibly don't want to, but there's a thing. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Take care and speak to you soon. Cheers.